Dwane, you were very complimentary the way Fred and Dwane interacted and performed yesterday. After watching the film, anything?
Same thing. I thought they did a good job, running the show, pushing the main thing is setting the tempo. And again, these days are dog days also for the body, and mentally it can be taxing, and I think the young legs, the fresh legs, come in and change things. And they did, not only last night, I thought they did a good job even in the loss to Miami. They did a good job in that game, setting the tone, kind of getting us back, making the game respectable. So they've done a good job, and again, it's about their development and growth. Really impressed with their progression.
How do you let them determine who calls the set? If they get, do they go in transition, whoever gets the ball?
No, usually in the timeouts we'll dictate who starts it or who's going to end up with it in a play, Doug. But in the game it doesn't matter. Just like Corey and Kyle, it doesn't matter who sets it. It kind of, the flow of the game kind of determines who sets the table, who's going to be the shooter spotted up in those plays.
Fred was just talking that the floor balance is really intriguing to them because he's not used to getting back from the corner. Do you find that hard? Like the point guards are breaking back from the top of the key.
I don't buy that theory. I'm going to talk to Fred about that. There's only the one thing about, getting back from the corner is on the raise. As soon as you see him raise up to shoot the ball, get your behind back. Get your behind back, tuck your, tail between your legs and run back. That's all you have to do, and there's not a mystery from that standpoint. So I'll have to talk. You just told on Fred. I'm going to get on him because that's something we've been talking about all year.
What is it about Dwane defensively? I mean, he blocked another shot last night with so little NBA experience. Is it instincts? Is it length?
Length, I think, is deceptive. He's got length in those situations. I think his timing is pretty good in those situations, and he surprises people with his length and timing as much as anything else. Again. They're progressing. They're getting better every game, every minute they get on the court. They're improving. We have other guys too. We got to continue to get PJ Tucker ready for playoffs. Try to keep his minutes up because he's going to be an important factor for us in the playoffs, and his physicality and his toughness and his experience. I don't think he's played in a playoff game before, so. We got to make sure we keep his minutes up along with playing Fred and Dwane and the young guys. So we got some things to do to try to continue to keep our team ready and for playoff basketball.
By getting his minutes up, you mean out there with different groups of guys or physically?
No, just different guys, different scenarios. Because the matchups are going to be very important in the playoffs, and our defense is one of the tops in the league with PJ on the floor. And it's been happenstance because in one game we was getting our butts kicked in Miami, and I didn't want to throw him in there, at his age or whatever. And then last night we had a big lead, and I wanted to make sure the young guys got their minutes. So, but again, we got to make sure we keep his minutes where he does get his rhythm and keep in game condition. He works his butt off to stay in shape, off the court, but we got to make sure he has game time, game minutes.
It's funny in this day and age of players resting and taking days off, you got to get a guy playing well.
Well, because it's about rhythm. It's about him getting a feel for what we're doing offensively and knowing the plays, the timing of the plays, the nuances of the plays. So that's on us as coaches to make sure we keep his minutes up. And I think he played 14 minutes in Miami and 13 minutes last night. So, and we need to get his minutes, closer to that 25 to 28 position.
Is he still feeling his way around, you think?
No, he's not. No, it's not like he's doing no. It's just the two games have been, one, we're getting our butts kicked by 20, and then we were winning last night by 20. So it's been two situations where, he hadn't had a chance to have his minutes up.
When I asked you about Serge last night, when you look at the box score, it's like basically zeros all the way across. But then you see I think he had a plus minus of plus 18.
I just talked to him about that. That's an unbelievable stat, but that just shows you the power of his defense, or what he does other than scoring. I didn't realize he hadn't scored either, Rob, until after the game. I looked at the stat sheet, and I didn't know that he had 9. We wanted to get 10, but again, it just shows you the importance of his presence on the floor and his impact on the game other than scoring. Now, you throw scoring in there, it's gravy, but he is one of our best three-point shooters at 39%. He was over 40 until last night, but his presence and his impact it just shows what he can do on when he's on the floor.
Yeah, it was obviously he's very versatile. I mean, he's not pouring it in the net. He helps out in other ways, which you pointed out.
Well, it is. His communication, his talking, his ability to rotate in pick and roll situations. All those things have an impact on and again, just his physicality. Guys, he sets the tone, as does PJ. PJ, guys see him busting through screens, being physical, bodying up in the paint. They kind of, say, well, I got to get, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's contagious.
Serge's got that sort of Bismack-like ability to come from the weak side to change, if not block shots. Seeing that in your
Well, that's who he is. That's what he's done his whole career, Doug, and teams know that, and he has that ability to do that. And he can erase a lot of mistakes. We don't want to have those mistakes on the perimeter, and we probably had too many. But as far as keeping the ball in front, and because like Coach Chaney used to say from Temple, if you got to block a shot, you're in trouble. It's 9-1-1 at that time, But he's there to do that, and he does a good job. He also, like Dwane, has impeccable timing on blocking shots, and every team needs that.
He's also got a pretty quick second jump, so if he doesn't get the shot, he can get back to help on the board.
Well, he made one play last night where he took a guy in pick and roll, he took him off, and then he got back to his man and challenged the shot and affected the shot. So he has the ability to have multiple efforts to impact the play. We call it run off and recover. He does that as well as anybody in the league.
Is that a rare thing in the NBA, guys that are able to make that big of an impact on a game without scoring?
I don't know if it's a rarity, but it's a rarity that guys put forth the effort to do it. The guys have the athletic ability to do it, but it's a rarity that they exert it in those situations. But Serge is one of those guys that does that. He does a great job of multiple efforts in one possession.
It's a mental thing as much as anything, right?
Mental and physical.
Yeah.
Some guys, I think you see it more in the last 2 minutes, last 3 minutes of the game. But in the floor of the game, you guys are gonna say, "Oh, okay, this is. I'm gonna save that little ounce of energy." But he exerts it as well as most great defenders do.